be obsessive. Obsessive. I think a lot of people equate that with you. You know, Kobe is obsessive in a lot of things.
Okay, so if your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. Right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in.
Is that genetic? Or is that something you ingrained and trained with yourself?
No, it was
Who
just
taught you that?
For me, it was just common sense. Like I can if I start earlier, I can train more hours, and I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. Right? So I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense. I'm like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. Yeah, let's do that.
When did you start doing that?
High school. We start. My first class in high school was 7:45. I used to get to the gym around 5 a.m. and I'd play before school. And then school would start.
Who was playing with you at 5 a.m.?
My coach. So my coach would show up and we'd do all these basketball drills. Right?
So just you and your coach?
Just me and my coach. And sometimes it would just be me and the janitor. But I'd play during lunch and then practice after. And go home, do my schoolwork, and then watch a bunch of game film and games on TV. Study film.
Was that the only thing you've been obsessed about, basketball?
Well, until recently, yeah. Basketball had dominated, my entire life, more than 30 years.
When I brought it up, like, is it genetic or you just learned it? I mean, how did that idea even come up? Because that's obviously a pillar of Mamba mentality, the obsessiveness. This is just, like you said, I'm going to get up at 4, everybody's get up at 6. If everybody's going to get up at 4, I'm going to get up at 2. Right? How do you develop that, or where do you learn that from?
Well, I think it's just a matter of what's important to you. And what's important to you for whatever reason. I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be. And so that's where it comes from for me. You can't leave any stone unturned. The important thing to understand is you can't shortchange yourself. Like you're not cheating anybody but yourself. Right? I mean, you're tired. You're literally this far away from the line. Why would you not go that extra to touch the line, right? So if I let him get away with that, right, all of a sudden he starts, maybe he'll cheat something over here, right? Not give his best over here, not give his best over here. And as years go on, he's going to be he's not going to reach his full potential because he's been taking these little shortcuts that just add up. And you can't let that happen. Our job as teachers, as mentors, as inspirers, it's our responsibility to hold them accountable to those things. When I ruptured my Achilles, I knew what happened. I knew the severity of the injury, and I didn't know if I was going to come back from it.
Yeah, in the locker room, you were crying.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think this is it. Like, my career could be over right now. So, well, what I did is, I went home, and I was just really angry. And
angry?
I was angry. I was mad. I was angry. I worked so hard for us to get to the playoffs. to have a chance to win another championship, and then this happened. So I had a lot of anger, and then from the anger, then I was sad, and then you start feeling bad for yourself, and then you say, all right, okay, I'm done being a baby. Okay, what am I gonna do now? Because I can't sit here and give up. That's not an option. So now what?
How long was the cycle from this anger?
This is one night.
One night.
It's one night. It's one night. It was
Because
like,
you started writing in the middle of the night, right? You wrote that. You wrote that.
Then it was okay. What are you gonna do? So it was one night. But then then you start. It's a process. You look at process.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna do? What can I control? Surgery. We'll do the surgery. Come out of the surgery. Recover. From there, physical therapy. Okay, physical therapy. Piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. Start running. Back on the court. So I broke things down into sections and said, okay, I'm gonna focus on resting right now. This is it. I'm gonna focus on moving my toes and then walking, and then. So you look at every challenge at every step, and that's how you're able to be resilient, come back from these things. Every kid, every person has the ability to put one foot in front of the other.
One step at a time.
Right. So like if you're saying, okay, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest, you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, I'm not gonna climb Mount Everest. Right? But if you break it down into sections, you just one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain.
So the map, the plan is to set short-term goals.
Yeah.
And to get there, A to B, B to C, C to D.
Coming back from my Achilles, I came back from the Achilles, and I was fine. And then the next year, I fractured my knee. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, oh, here we go again. Come back from that next year, tear my shoulder. Here we go again. Right? But if I looked at those things in totality, it'd be depressing. But if I look at it as just the facts, this is it happened. Can't do anything about it. It happened. Now what are you gonna do? One step at a time.
Achilles, knee, shoulder, any step of the way you said, screw it, forget it, done, no more.